Hi, welcome back to the Petite Palette Kitchen. We are here once again and to show you how to make food for your toddlers and babies and family. So we did some cooking classes about a month ago where we taught how to make baby food, and we got some requests to do some toddler meals. So today we're going to be doing a chicken meal, and it's so easy, and we're going to build on the stuff that we've done before, and you can follow along in our quick guide book, and you can click on the link in the window here. It's on page 20 for 8 months and up meals. And this one is the chicken puree and simple vegetable broth, and we're going to be combining that with the sweet potatoes that I did a couple videos ago. So all I have to do here is I have my beautiful rosemary, which I grow in my own apartment in the window. Save some money there. I have one chicken breast, and this is boneless, skinless, and a little bit of olive oil, and that's it for the chicken breast. So what we're going to do is take a little bit of my rosemary. You can see here, I'll just cut a little piece off. And now we're not going to actually cut it up with the chicken, we're going to lay it with it just to flavor it a little. And we're going to cover this in a little bit, maybe 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Here. So we have the rosemary lying down. Pour a little olive oil to keep it juicy. And you know, babies that are starting on meats are more than able to eat flavor and have olive oil. I have a preheated oven to 350, and I'm going to put it in here for 20 minutes. Checking on it, and you want to make sure that the center when you take it out is completely cooked all the way through. Now that's it for the chicken part. Next I have some vegetable broth, and all this really is some vegetables that I have had lying around, extra vegetables or scraps that I've used before, and put some water. And what I have here is the rosemary, some thyme, some carrots, some celery, and a little bit of onions. And you just let this simmer on the stove for about 40-45 minutes, and it's a great way to flavor to anything really, not just baby food. And what I did here is take some of that, and I made it, and I used that broth to cook my sweet potato in. So I just have a little bit of sweet potato. This is about I would say about a half of a sweet potato. And I've been letting this simmer in the broth for, I would say about 10 minutes until it's soft. So what I'm going to do is come back to you after the chicken is cooked, and I'll show you how to combine everything into a puree for baby food, or just like a little plate for toddler meals. And it's absolutely... Okay, we're back now. I'm going to check on my chicken, which has been roasting in the oven for about 20-25 minutes. So let me get this down lower so you can see what's going on. Next. Ooh, that looks perfect, and it smells delicious. We have our wonderful chicken, and I'm going to just cut into it a little bit just to make sure that we got the inside correct. That's cooked all nice. Oh yeah, that's great. Nice and white, all done. You don't want any pink when you're cooking chicken. No pink. Alright, so I'm going to cut this up into about 1-inch pieces. That's a little bit hard. And it's nice and juicy because we have the olive oil kept it juicy, as well as I had a really nice piece of chicken. You can also cook this with the skin on and the bone in it if you have just a chicken breast with the skin and bone, and then take off that after it's cooked, and that helps keep it nice and juicy as well. Alright, so I have half of this right now, and what I'm going to do is put it into our little Cuisinart hand blender here, which is a super handy tool. I absolutely love it. I can't live without this thing. Alright, I'm going to put my chicken chunks into the blending bar, and you can do this if you need like a regular food processor. That works well too. And you know, the thing is, meat grinds up nicely. It doesn't look great, but it grinds up wonderfully. And I have my sweet potatoes, or yams actually, here. So I'm just going to take a couple of these and add it to. And these were steaming again, cooking in, not steaming, these were boiling in the vegetable broth that we made. Gonna add these. So you have chicken and sweet potatoes. I'm gonna put a couple on a plate for the older kids that don't need to have it ground up. And this is nice and soft, so kids learning to eat finger foods can have that and they don't choke on it because it's so soft. And then I'm gonna have our delicious broth handy in case to add some liquid to the puree. I'm gonna do, this is about 1 small ladle, 2 small ladles. We'll start with that and see how it goes. Now, if you don't want to use broth, you most certainly can use just plain water. But the broth adds so much more flavor. And, you know, since this baby is probably going to be a little bit older, it's just not, you know, it doesn't have to be so smooth. It could be a little chunky. That's good. And see how easy the meat pureed. I might add a little bit more broth, just make it a little looser. The potatoes really soak up a lot of the liquid. And one more zap with the squeeze. Oh, perfect. So that's it. Nice thing about this, you just disconnect it right here. See? And done. Okay, this is the little kids dish that we have for the babies. And this is our little chicken meal all in one, and it's nice and flavorful. Smells delicious. And it's a nice thing to do for kids even during the holidays when everybody else is eating stuff that perhaps they can't eat yet. Or if you're making a chicken roast, cut a little bit off and puree it up for a little baby. So there's that one. And then for the little bit older kids, I'm going to cut up a couple more pieces of the chicken and cut it nice and small. And they can have little finger foods. And it's nice and moist, so you don't have to worry about them hurting their gums, or if you cut it small enough, they can practice picking it up and feeding themselves. There we go. This looks so delicious, actually. And there you go, a wonderful meal. We have the puree, and then we have the finger foods. And it's a nice little meal in one, and I promise they're going to love it. It tastes delicious. That's so good. Definitely love it with the stock. Okay. Anyway, you can find this recipe on our website, petitepalate.com, and or Petite Palate Kitchen, which is our blog, so petitepalatekitchen.com. Or you can find and follow along in our little cookbook. It's a quick and easy guide. Not very long, very light, easy to take around with you. And again, we were on page 20 today. So, thanks again.